When you're a Chelsea Football Club manager, Mauricio Pochettino, there are some things I would advise you not to do. Firstly, being overly kind to Spurs is not that. And number two, saying that you still would want to be in charge of Spurs is not the right thing to do. I can't believe he said this. Let's break this down. He also took shots at KEPA. Let's go. Welcome to the Kavkas View, Bread Ducky. After my video on Friday, I did not think I was going to have to do another video about the comments that Mauricio Pochettino had. But Mauricio doubled down on these comments and late comments have come out. I'll explain to you why these comments are late. And more importantly, I'll explain to you why we do not need to overreact. Because the reality is, I blame Poch for saying some things, but at the same time, I understand it. And there are two reasons why we need to allow it and stop being so emotional and reactionary. But before we get started, if you made it this far, I really appreciate if you hit the like button, because 1,000 likes goes a long way. And number two, subscribe to the channel. It's the best way you guys can support me. And now let's move on with All right, ladies and gentlemen, now we need to talk about this, because the reality is Chelsea at this moment in time have a manager in Mauricio Pochettino that essentially made his name at Spurs. And since he's made his name at Spurs, he went to PSG, had a decent stint. I would call it a failure. Some people said he won a cup, so it's decent. It is what it is. But he has joined Chelsea. Since he's joined Chelsea, his start's been underwhelming. I'm not going to lie to you, it's not purely his fault. Squad construction, yada, yada, yada. We've spoken about this on many occasions. I'm going to just talk about what Pochettino is about. If you want to hear about the other stuff, just follow me. I'll most probably talk about it again, or go back and watch my other videos. Now we need to talk about it. So on Friday in the press conference, Pochettino was very complimentary to Daniel Levy. He said, thank you for giving me the job. That gave him the opportunity to have this Chelsea job. He was also very complimentary of Ainge. He said, done a fantastic job. He says he's happy to see Spurs doing well. And he said he believes Spurs could win the league. In my last video, I broke this down in conclusive evidence that there's nothing wrong with what he said. Levy gave him the opportunity to do what he loves, be a football manager, and to do it on a big platform. I would be grateful too. Ainge Postecoglou has done a great job. Us sitting here now and saying he hasn't is lying. This man is clearly not a liar. Do you want him to blatantly lie to our face? And more importantly, he's just put all the pressure on Tottenham. Tottenham have to beat us now, because everybody is saying Tottenham's better than Chelsea. Tottenham should be beating Chelsea. Let's see what you got. Let's see how you lot play when you're the favourites. Number three, and this is a big one. He is happy that Tottenham are doing well. I don't blame you. You started this project. The reason Tottenham are as good as they are at this moment in time is because of the development and the foundations that Poch put in place there. And the reality is he cares about this club. Stop pretending now that he has a blue top on. He is not wearing a white top that says Spurs on it, or Tottenham Hotspurs, whatever their stupid emblem is, I don't care. The reality is, he is right. They can win the league. They are having an excellent season, and he is allowed to be happy for them. They made Poch into what Poch is today. And people won't like that, and people will say, you're a fake fan, Alex. You're not allowed to say that. It's the Spurs. In my lifetime, Spurs have been nothing. We have had two big games against Spurs that mean anything, that are ingrained in my head. Battle of the Bridge, that people call it, where we ruined their title charges, and the Carling Cup final. Other than that, Spurs have been 3-point lane, and Spurs have been I'm not going to say the word, okay? Because we just absolutely violate them. So now I'm going to talk to you about the new comments that have come out. The new comments have come out through the Standard and the Daily Mail. These comments snuck in, not through the TV reporting stage. So if any of you ever watched the press conferences, some information, Poch gets asked a few questions, then cameras come off, then there are more questions. These questions are for the newspaper. The reason this happens is because if everyone gets to watch the interview, newspapers have nothing to write about, and it's only regurgitation. So they get exclusive window to release these quotes, and they're exclusive quotes. So what did Poch say? He said he might be emotional. He genuinely said that. He said he might be emotional on the day. His family knows him as a crier. And so he might even cry. He doesn't know whether he will or not, but he's emotional. Guess what? Oh my God, the Chelsea manager's gonna cry about going back to Spurs. How dare he? Guys, this guy has a physical attachment to Spurs. Is it gonna stop him from doing the best job he can for Chelsea? No, he's a professional. We had Conte there. And more importantly, we had Mourinho there. It never stopped them doing the best job they could do. Mourinho almost won them a cup. They sacked Mourinho, otherwise they would have had a cup. So the reality is, Stop overreacting. And this final one triggered a lot of people. And this is the only quote when I could say, oh, Poch, this is a little bit sticky. But I am going to explain to you, as a man that's not English, as a man whose the first language is not English. My third language is English. And that's the reality of it. I speak Russian and I speak Azerbaijani in my native tongue. My third language is English. Sometimes, if you didn't grow up in an atmosphere, you translate expressions into a different language that doesn't make sense. And if you look at what Poch actually said, and this is actually the way I looked at it. Poch said, I never quit Spurs. I was fired. Fact, he was fired. So essentially, he never wanted to walk out on that job, which is true. No manager wants to quit a job. It is evident. He also said, who knows, I could have still been there. Fact. It's not saying I would still want to be there. I am going to be there. He basically said, in an alternative universe, they don't sack him. He's most probably still there. There is nothing wrong with saying that, because it's the hard truth. I think we live in this paradise where we assume that all managers, all players care about the club the way we care about it as fans. They don't. Let me give you some interesting information. Enzo Fernandez doesn't care about Chelsea the way Alex cares about Chelsea, purely because Enzo Fernandez is a footballer that was born in Argentina, that has an affiliation most probably with an Argentinian football club or Real Madrid or Barcelona. Same with Moises Caicedo, same with Mo Salah in Liverpool. The only way that develops is when players stay at a club long enough and they learn to love it. Mauricio Pochettino and Spurs, Jose Mourinho and Chelsea. You see where I'm going with this, people? The fact of the matter is, you can't inscribe, tattoo on Pochettino, you are Chelsea blue now, because he doesn't feel it yet. Wait till we win a Carabao Cup this year. Wait till we have a decent run of form where he gets invested into our culture and he becomes part of it. He'll forget about them the way Cesc forgot about Arsenal. That's what will happen. Calm down, and the bigger problem you lot should be worrying about is that we don't lose badly to those lot tomorrow. We need to hope our players step up, we need to hope Spurs get complacent, and we need to hope we smash them. The final thing I'm going to talk about, Poch sent serious shots at Kepa Balaga, because what Poch did there was very, very interesting. And I find it actually low-key disrespectful. If I'm Kepa, I'm picking up the phone and I'm chatting to Poch, because what do you mean other keeper? So he was talking about Robert Sanchez and he was just like, oh, Robert Sanchez come in, he settled in very well when the other keeper decided to leave or the other keeper left. That tells you relationships between Poch and Kepa Balaga don't exist. Poch is a very respectful man. Listen to the way Poch speaks about Spurs. Listen to the way Poch speaks about his ex-players that he respects, and listen to the way he spoke about Mikel Arteta. Arteta is a rival coach at Arsenal Football Club. He couldn't have spoken in nicer light of him. Something happened, in my opinion, between Poch and Kepa. There is love lost there, because there is no way under any circumstances he doesn't refer to him as Cesar or Kepa or Arifa Balaga. There is a way, yeah, that he refers to him in a way that is so disrespectful. The other keeper. Do you understand how mad that is? To call somebody the other keeper. It's basically, I'm telling you now, the people that have a problem with Pochettino's lovely quotes about Spurs are the ones that are gonna love this, because they're gonna be like, oh, our gaffer, Chelsea first. That don't exist. I think it's low-key a little bit disrespectful, but it is what it is. We don't know what happened behind closed doors. Guys, I need you lot now to, as I conclude this video, hit that like button because you made it this far. Subscribe if you are new, you clearly enjoyed it. And more importantly, in the pinned comment is my TikTok videos. I had a quick reaction on Arsenal Newcastle. That was a madness. The video went kind of viral. Like 10,000 people have seen it. Yeah. Like for me, that's viral on that platform. There's nowhere near as big of a following as there is here. So I really appreciate if you can go and support me there. Hit the like button, subscribe to the channel. Peace out, I'm out. Have a lovely day. See you for the review tomorrow.